Hello everyone and welcome to Campus Conversations, the podcast of Asian World School, a space where young minds meet inspiring stories, meaningful ideas and real-world innovations.
Today, we are delighted to welcome Mr. Neerad Agarwal, an entrepreneur and a business leader with vast working experience. He is the co-founder of Funa and serves as the director of Graintech Foods Private Limited.
Thank you for joining us today, sir.
Thank you so much for having me over.
First and foremost, we would love to know about your journey. I'm very curious to know that what inspired you to become an entrepreneur and what was your journey from being a student to becoming an entrepreneur?
So the inspiration behind pursuing the entrepreneurial dream was that a lot of my family members, including my grandfather, was pursuing entrepreneurship. So from our very early days of childhood, we used to hear these conversations, and somehow that made way in the mind and instilled that we need to pursue, and I want to pursue this journey. From my student days, so that to now is very different. Student days were more of fun, learning, growing up. Now there's a lot more responsibility that you have to shoulder. But yeah, God is kind. A fun aspect is also continuing, working, having fun. So that's how it's been.
I'm pretty sure that entrepreneurship must have its own thrill.
It does. To be very honest, there are days that you really question yourself that why am I doing this? Because every possible thing that can go wrong is going wrong. Then there are days when you overcome challenges which you never think you'd be able to do. And somehow your discipline, your work, some bit of luck. So those days are very satisfying and thrilling. And the beauty about entrepreneurship is that every day is a new day. So you don't know what's coming your way. So that's the thrill bit of it.
I think that's what makes entrepreneurship fun.
It does. It adds the fun element. It also adds the uncertainty element. So it's you keep juggling between these two things, the thrill and the uncertainty. And touch wood, few people are lucky enough to cross over these waves and be successful. Some people aren't able to do it and the journey is broken midway. So, but yeah, that does add a multi-dimensional value to pursuing entrepreneurship.
So, if you have to describe your journey, entrepreneurship journey in one word, so what positive word it would be?
I'd use two words: inspired consistency. So, I have been lucky enough to somehow gather that inspiration every single day and get it to work, and being consistently able to apply it. So I think these two words kind of summarize the journey till now.
And before we move forward, we would also like to know that how does your company balances both modern and traditional ways of making food?
In terms of food and food processing, so we are essentially a food processing company, and we contract manufacture a lot of products such as biscuits, bhujiyas, namkeens, chips. All of them not very suitably healthy, but a lot of people asking for it. So the idea to balance between the core ethics and values and modernization. So food is an edible item. So there's a lot of responsibility that is on our shoulders to give out a product that is of the highest quality and standard. To pursue that, the motto that we have in our organization is to manufacture only what you can have by yourselves. So just sticking by it. So you kind of follow those SOPs and protocols to ensure a good quality product is going out. And in today's times, modernization is very important. And especially in food processing, a very big possible way of food products getting contaminated is human touch. Because we in ourselves carry a lot of bacteria, particles stepping inside the manufacturing facility. So it is our constant endeavor to continuously keep optimizing the process where you have the least possible human intervention that is required, so that the product that you give out is of the best quality. And it is a continuous endeavor. Every little step that you take takes you forward. So that's the approach that we have, and we aim to continuously keep doing that.
Also, you talked about modernizing the stuff when it comes to food. So I'm really curious to know that how do you ensure that the taste stays same even after going on with new recipes and everything? How do you make sure that the taste still stays the same that was there with the older recipes?
So essentially in food processing, when innovation happens, the idea is not to keep the taste same. You innovate because you want something different. So if you change a process, then you want the taste to be same, because the product is the same, just a process improvement is happening. So that is essentially based on a lot of hidden trials and R&Ds that you do. So at times you fail, at times you're successful, and food products are very volatile. Little things can impact them in the long run. So it is a process, it's a longer process of a lot of R&D, sampling, etc. But and in terms of innovation, the idea is to get something new. And in today's times, you guys are the perfect audience. You get bored with the same old very soon.
Yes.
So we need to keep innovating to keep you guys engaged, getting out a fresher, newer product every day. So that's the goal, to keep you guys engaged.
I agree, because to be honest, every next day we want to have new things to try.
So that's good on your part, it's just challenging on our part. So we hope that we are able to match up to your expectations.
I'm sure that we are able to do that.
Moving forward, like every business faces some or the other challenges during their growth journey. So what were the most difficult moments in your life and how did you learn from them?
So I would like to put forth two instances here. The first one, this moment comes in everyone's life, be it an entrepreneur or a working professional, a homemaker, or anyone. When you start up,
Yes.
when you start out, there are questions, there are challenges. Mentally, you think, how will things happen? Will things happen? Some days you're confident, some days your back is to the wall. So those times it is important to be focused, have that faith in yourself, and be at it. And it is a tide, it is a time. And as you would have heard, this too shall pass. So all phases, tough or bad, they come and they go. So that was one. And the second that I would like to mention is the COVID times. So those were truly challenging times. Challenges that no one probably had ever thought of, ever heard of. So that phase was truly very, I'd say, mind-boggling. You didn't know what to address. People were suffering, businesses were suffering, organizations were suffering, teams were suffering. So just to keep composure, keep calm, kind of slowly build on it, have a short-term vision, just to let every day go by and wait what's up for you the next day. So there I think the key again features or pointers would be focus, discipline, and faith. So they kind of cover the entire gamut of things.
So as you mentioned about short-term and long-term visions, I'm curious to know what is your short-term goal and what is your long-term goal?
So in terms of short-term goal, which is for us, it is very clear. Whatever manufacturing an enterprise we are running, we want it to function in a very smooth manner. Since we're into food processing, we are very keenly focused on quality, that is intact, and our team members who are supporting us in this journey, who are putting in their hard work and sweat for our organization, they keep growing with us. So this is I would say a short to medium term vision. In the long term vision, we'd probably want our organization to be the biggest contract manufacturing organization in the country and hopefully the world, and we can make ourselves and our team very proud of that fact. So that's what is the direction we want to move in.
It's nice to hear that.
Thank you.
Also, you mentioned something about keeping calm. We'll be honest, our generation faces problem in that we panic at even the slightest bit of inconvenience. So what advice would you give us?
So what you're mentioning is not wrong. It's also a phase. Once you're children, you're growing up. So a lot of things to you at that moment seem very critical and important, and you think it doesn't happen, so that panic triggers. Even I faced it, and I'm sure a lot of people have faced it. So don't take it too hard or harshly on you. But I think what helped me overcome it was sports. Because playing sports, you're put into difficult, tricky situations day in and day out. And that time, the only objective and goal in your mind is never say die. Keep at it, keep at it, keep at it. And that calmness eventually comes in because you are in that situation tens, 20, 50s of times. So eventually your mind is kind of accustomed to that instant and believing and seeing for yourself that the best result came out when you were at your calmest. You were at your most focused but calmest. I think it's a transition that will happen, and hopefully if you are pursuing, and I hope everyone else is pursuing a game, it will help them develop that faster.
True.
As a sports person, I strongly agree with that. Now, moving forward, you talked about your team before, so we also want to know that who were the biggest influences of your life? Friends, families, mentors, or was it your life experiences?
So I would say I've been very lucky on that front. I have had a lot of people in my life who's played critical roles in making me who I am as an individual, and mostly instilling small learnings and qualities in me. And that includes my family, friends, a lot of my sporting idols. So it's a mix of that, and I think it's very difficult to quantify specific people who intervened in that. But yeah, it's a collection of that, and most importantly, I believe it is your journey, because the things that you go through by yourself, nothing teaches you, nothing makes you experience that feeling moment than being in that situation. So those things you imbibe quickly and they stay in your conscious, subconscious mind forever. So I think, yeah, that they shape you as an individual 100%.
That's great. Journey is actually the greatest teacher.
Absolutely.
Now I'm curious to know that what habit or mindset from your younger days is helping you now in your professional life.
So I would again go back to sports. So I've been an avid sportsman. So the 2-3 main things that probably sports teaches you, or at least has taught me and instilled in me, is A, focus. Because when you're playing at that moment, everything else in your life is noise. You're just focused on that one thing. Secondly, it teaches you team spirit. Because in today's time, I think it is very difficult just for an individual to grow, excel, and achieve a lot of things only by themselves. So it is a combined effort, and that kind of takes you where you reach. So sports also subtly teaches you that. There are times when you think someone has let the team down, someone has pushed the team up. So that's a part of life also. And the third thing I would say is never say no or never die. Because for me, whenever I am on a field, I always think I can win. No matter what the situation is, no matter where you're standing in life. So the same thing if we apply in our lives, our professional, personal journeys. So they kind of help us do much better than probably we thought we can. So yeah, these are the few things I want to mention.
I feel like that mindset is important, but you talked about focus, and I feel like something which is in it, like students like us, I am sure like you'll be able to relate to your student days. Like we stay focused according to the motivation. If it's for 2 days, we'll stay focused for 2 days and we'll work hard. But after that point of time, we start losing focus day by day, and then we come back to where we started.
Correct. So I think that's a very valid point, because I think focus goes hand in hand with consistency. So a consistent amount of focus every day will give you much better results in whatever you're doing than being focused or being consistent in spurts of small phases. But as you rightly said, it's very much dependent on the goal or that inspiration, motivation you have behind it. And again, I would say it's a journey. Don't be too harsh on yourself, but keep focused, keep motivated. And there are times when the motivation level by itself will go very high and we will want you to chase it. So on that, I'll ask you, what do you want to pursue in your career?
I want to become an IAS officer.
And I want to start a business of my own.
See, so at this age, you can see your visions very clearly. So there is no bigger motivation than this. So, and I'm sure probably you'll also feel in time when it's about your aspirations or careers that you both mentioned, your motivation levels operate differently, whereas probably something other or any other task at hand. So that's a human cycle. We need to redefine our motivations and get behind it.
Everyone has their own definition of success. We would love to know that how would you define it, not just as an entrepreneur, but as a person.
So I personally feel the definition of success changes with time in whichever phase of life you're in. So today I'm now nearing 40. For me, how I would like to define success is that when I go back to bed at the end of my day, I can be proud of my effort. I can be happy about how I've contributed in the day to organization, to people, and give myself that cheer and smile of doing something good. So that's how I define success today.
Even I agree that happiness is another name of success.
True it is.
What leadership qualities do you believe are essential for building a great business?
So it's a very important question, I would say, and there is no perfect answer to it. From my experiences, what I think to create something of value, first things first, you should be very clear with your vision, that what you want to do, how you want to do. Secondly, you need people. Individuals don't create big businesses or big enterprises. So the right set of people who have the right complementing qualities to each other. And third, I would say, is the focus, the discipline, and the consistency to keep at it, keep going, evolving, because your enterprise will ask for different things from you in different junctures. So you'll have to keep evolving, be at it. So I think these 3-4 things at least help you jumpstart well.
I also want to ask you that do you think leadership can be learned through books?
I think books are very important because they give you a framework, they give you ideas, they give you a mindset. And having the exposure, the learning of so many people who've achieved so much in life. So even if we keep instilling little things from them, so we as individuals grow. So reading, I think, is very important, just to give yourself the luxury of different perspectives. And hopefully, if you're lucky enough, you imbibe a few things. And these things are what you already connect with. And in my personal experiences, at times, just to put it simply, books kind of give you in a structured manner things that you already know. But you have that moment that something has been very simply presented to do and you think, yes, I believe in it and I will do it. So that is, I think, something where books really help you.
You talked about books, and I want to be a business person and she wants to be an IAS. So what's one book you will recommend each of us?
So I would not recommend something basis your career options. So what has motivated me in life is autobiographies. And two of my favorite sporting idols have been Sachin Tendulkar and Roger Federer. And I've been lucky to have both the biographies out. Just to read through them, to live a journey of someone who is successful, who is humble, who has achieved so much. And for me, I kind of go back to them again and again. And that is a place where I draw inspiration from. So I think whoever people you idolize, you look up to, if you just go through their journeys of ups and downs, of achievements, of heartbreaks, I think that is something that really motivates you day in and day out.
Even I've read many autobiographies. Like one of the most favorite I like is of APJ Abdul Kalam. He's my idol.
He is, I would say, a truly inspiring leader.
Yes.
And he's done great things and a true patriot, I would say, for the country. And I think that's what is the beauty about biographies and autobiographies. They inspire you by little things that probably you would not even notice in common day lives. But when you read, when you realize the impacts that they have created, I think, and for me, it's kind of a goosebump moment. Even today, when I see my idols talking on screen, so I hope people keep inspiring us, you, me, and the generations to come, and we keep delivering.
Now moving forward, what do you think are the skills that students like us should start developing early on if they want to become leaders, entrepreneurs, or business people?
So I would say at your age, 2-3 things that probably few I could do, few I couldn't because I did not know. A, we should be reasonably focused on what the job at hand. It might keep changing because it's a skill that helps you, and it helps you always in whatever you're doing, whichever phase of life you are. So that is something. 2, in our student life, we have a lot of experiences. Challenging experiences, good experiences, happy experiences, bad experiences. Some experiences we share with others, some we are not able to even share with anyone. So I think just to keep hold and track of your experiences, let them imbibe, let those instances imbibe their values, their teachings to you. Grasp hold tight of the good ones, let loose of the ones that were not so comfortable and happy, and keep growing, because these experiences will shape eventually who you become, who you are. That's the reason I would say why parents focus so much on the kind of education, the kind of institutes they want their children to go, because those cultures, those environments kind of give you those experiences. So I think these 2 things is something you can keep an eye on.
Also, I feel like the bad experiences is what shapes you to be who you are right now, because I feel like they always have some kind of lesson hidden with them.
So that is true. Failing, having an unfavorable outcome is, I think, looked at very negatively in today's times, which it necessarily does not deserve. Like there's a quote that when I fall, the most important thing is to get up. And when I fall, I learn one way that I don't need to go about. So that's also a learning. People learn and go on. So yeah, so experiences will always be good and bad. And it's a mixed bag. So you choose and pick what you want to take and move on. I think there is no shying away from falling until we are ready to get up and be at it again.
And now moving forward, was there any daily habit or routine that helps you stay focused and positive even today?
So not in my younger times, I would say. So younger times you are kind of very fluid. You go with the day, how the day is planned. But recently, since I've joined my entrepreneurial journey, I kind of try to allocate some time to meditate and do pranayama. So that essentially helps me and my body be in sync, be relaxed. And I think calmness as a virtue is very important. The more calm you are in any situation, I think the better outcome or delivery you can give. So it kind of helps me in that also. So for me, that's important.
In today's world, meditating is always seen as something which is very boring. What are your views in it, and how should it actually be, and what's the misconception about meditating?
So I would want to say that it is something that each one likes for themselves. For me, meditating is an easy option because I have a very tight schedule. It gives me the flexibility. It does not very time consuming. So you only pursue something till the time you think it is adding value. The moment you think it's a burden, you don't do it. So I would not say that meditating is something that you should do and is the only thing you should do. Maybe for some people it's playing games. For some people it's going to the gym. So it's, I think, up to everyone, but something that you're happy about and you want to continue. It gives you that thrill and happiness to continue. You should pursue that. And probably with age, probably those things change. For me, it was sports initially. Now it is this. Maybe 10 years down the line, it will be something else. I don't know.
So students nowadays face challenges while focusing. They have many distractions in their life, like mobile phones are there, devices are there, and the environment they are in. So what advice will you give to the students and the audience there so that they can focus better and achieve their goals?
So you bring me to a very important point. Focus in today's time is very challenging, and we were blessed that the kind of distractions we had in our lives when we were students were much lesser than what you guys have today. So I think motivation plays a very crucial part in focus. Something that motivates us auto generates that focus and that will in us to do something. So I think we need to give ourselves quantifiable motivations and make ourselves focused to achieve them. And slow and steady, keep kind of graduating from there. And I also believe that these are the years that shape you guys and shapes everyone as an individual. So it is about choosing your high value addition activity, keeping focused on that and keep doing it. But it's also the time to have fun. So never compromise on that. Keep continuously having fun with that little bit of focus on what you want to achieve.
You mentioned about the motivation a little bit. I feel like motivation and goals go hand in hand. So do you think long-term goals or short-term goals play major role when it comes to improving focus?
So you're right. Motivation is directly proportional to goals. And having clear-cut identified goals are also very important for us to know which direction, which road we need to take. On the question that you asked, I think both are very important, short-term goals and long-term goals. Because what I personally believe that goals, achievements, everything should be quantifiable. We should be able to tell ourselves that this is the goal we set and this is what we achieved. So that gives you the thrill that I decided something and I did it. So that's where the short-term goals come in, because you can quantify, you can see, and you can further motivate you. And long-term goals in life are always very important because that's where you want your journey to take you. So somewhere you should have that in mind so that every now and then you stop, you recalibrate yourself in the journey, and if required, change the direction. So I think the long-term goals help there.
Now let's take a situation. If you could go back in time and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be and why?
So that's a very difficult question because I want to give myself thousands of advice, what I could have done better. But I think if I had to choose one or two, it would be that you be in the moment at that point in time. Whatever you are doing in life, your 100% should be in that moment. May it be work, may it be fun, sports, family. I think that is something that I personally could not do a lot. But now I think that that's truly living up, to be present at that moment in whatever you're doing. I think that is one thing that I would want to, if I could rewind and give it back to myself, I would want to.
It's true that students nowadays are concerned more with the past or predicting the future, but it's true that students should now focus on present.
And it's not about students, I think everyone, from a child to an elderly person. It is about the moment, because like I said, time is the only variable that we have. It goes by. So this moment is not coming back again in your lives, in my lives, and anyone else's life. So I think it's important to truly be here at this moment.
Okay. Now also we would like to know that when things don't go as planned for you, what helps you bounce back?
So I think as an entrepreneur, you're mostly in situations when things don't go as planned by you. So I am very used to it in terms of facing the situation. But I think your long-term visions and your discipline, that's okay, that's part of life. We are not dealt favorable hands always, maybe less, maybe more. But we know what we want to achieve, and that internal motivation, that focus, that discipline keeps you at it. And I think that's the difference between probably a successful person and someone not so successful.
I feel like when that happens, when things don't go as planned for you, self-criticism comes with it. And I feel like a lot of people in today's world don't realize the harm of self-criticism. So what advice would you give them for coping with that?
So that's again a very interesting point that you bring here. So I think it's a very thin, fine line between self-criticism and self-confidence. So I think as individual, we should be very balanced. There is no doubt that we should have utmost trust and faith in our abilities, in our actions and what we are doing. But also we should be open to understanding of areas that we can improve in. And I would not necessarily classify that as criticism, but it's a part of the learning journey. So you should be aware about it, but definitely you should not let yourself down in your own eyes in terms of your abilities, your faith on yourself, because that is the biggest driving force that we as human beings have. So we should never negate that.
So as you spoke about discipline, so time management is most important in discipline and having determination for our goals. So how do you manage your time?
So I kind of broadly classify my day into 3 buckets of 8 hours each. The first 8-hour bucket is to help my body recover from the daily activities, my sleeping, my fitness, etc. The next 8 hours is of razor focused sharp work so that I can deliver the best possible outcomes, set my priorities right and execute. And the third half is the time for your family, your friends, your other engagements, because I think that also balances your mind and body and health to help you perform better, to be in the perfect shape to deliver day in and day out. Having said that, there are deviations. I can't follow this on a daily basis. So there are times that you kind of one bucket goes into the other. But I think broadly we should always have something defined in our head and kind of try to stick in, because I also believe that rhythm is very important. Your mind, your body gets tuned to your rhythm, and in that rhythm you perform very well.
Planning is very important.
You should kind of stick to it.
You talked about rhythm. Could you elaborate a bit about what you mean when you say the rhythm of life?
So what I want to say from rhythm is that our body, our mind, so it's a 24-hour cycle that we're following every day. So if you have a systematic rhythm where at 9 o'clock you're doing a particular activity, at 10 you're at particular activity, so your mind and body auto-tunes itself. So give you your best. Probably if you're having breakfast at 9, so your body, your cells kind of define that you're hungry, you eat. At 10 o'clock you're at work. So your mind kind of delivers the best at that time. They are tuned to give you the best output.
And now we move towards the most fun and awaited segment of today, the rapid fire round.
Okay.
The rules are simple. You can only choose one thing.
One option. Okay. And how much time do I have to answer?
As quick as possible.
Perfect. Got it.
Okay, so let's begin.
Let's begin. Yes.
Early riser or night thinker?
Early riser.
Okay. A habit you never skip.
Nothing. I want life to be as fluid as it can be.
Planning or improvising?
I think mix of both, but mostly planning.
First success or first failure? What was more memorable?
I think both are very dear to me and both inspire me in different phases of my life.
One word that defines entrepreneurship to you?
Never say die.
Biggest motivation, impact, growth or freedom?
I think freedom.
Books or learning by doing?
I would again say it's a mix of both, but I think there is no match to learning by doing.
A leader you admire the most?
I'd say our current Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi.
One value you never compromise on?
Ethics.
One thing you'll be surprised to know about you?
From my college days, I've gone from playing 10 hours a day to probably 10 minutes a day now.
One line of advice for the students listening today?
Life is a big journey. Let's be focused, let's be happy, let's be excited. And amongst all this chaos, let the fun continue to happen. Only that gives you that achievement, that happiness in life that we're probably all meant to have in life.
That's a great advice, and now that brings us to the end. It has been truly insightful listening to your experience and learning from your journey. Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your thoughts with us. It was a pleasure speaking with you.
I'd like to thank both of you for sparing out time to have this interaction with me. I truly hope that whatever conversations we have had end up impacting at least one person.
And to everyone listening, we hope that today's episode reminded you that success isn't just about big moments. It's about small steps and believing in yourself.
Thank you for tuning in. Campus Conversations. We'll see you in the next episode.